Hello. My name is Lou Gadieu, and I'm the writer for Mobiius Anthology, a science fiction anthology of books. I've never been a writer before, but I've always written. I had this dream 5 years ago, and when I woke up from it, it just gave me such a weird feeling. I had to write it down, and the more I wrote it down, the more I felt compelled to crack it open and develop it more. And before I knew it, I had 100 pages written, and I thought, what is happening here? But it's not the first time that happened. I actually wrote my first science fiction book when I was 12. It was also about the apocalypse. I have this weird thing with the apocalypse. And I also tried writing another one at 16 or 17, but life got in the way. I just kept thinking to myself, you can't be a writer. There's no Truman Capote. We're not in the 1940s where, writers are everywhere and they abound. It's not Californication here, I've never met a writer. I don't know how it works. It's all very intimidating. The idea of walking into a publication house and saying, hi, I'm nobody and have no experience, but maybe you would like my book. So from very early on, I just decided that I wouldn't be a writer and that I would just write because I enjoy it and I feel compelled to. And it really became this larger than life obsession. I mean, gosh, I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I think about. I go to bed at night, it's the last thing I think about. In the past few years, it's gotten worse, better, I'm not sure. But, like the walls of my apartment are covered with timelines and notes and character development, and there's Post-its everywhere. And I'm doing all this knowing that I don't know if it's going to get published. I don't know what to do with it. So when I found out about Patreon, I felt like I'd won the lottery, because I realized you don't actually need to be a writer, you can just write. So I altered some of the structure of the story to kind of fit into this vision of what I thought a Patreon self-publication release model could look like. And it just was so beautiful. I mean, Mobiius is a story that takes place across 250 years. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of timelines. Putting that into a book format might not even work that well. I mean, I would need to have editors and publishers and things like that. I can't afford any of that stuff. But Patreon just kind of allows me to do it one step at a time. So the way I'm going to release Mobiius is by releasing chapbooks. So I did some research online because I didn't like the idea of releasing a chapter. A chapter is only 5,000 words. That takes like 20 or 30 minutes to read. It didn't feel meaty enough. I couldn't really dive into some of the thematic devices that I had going. I wanted it to be a little bit longer. Novellas are 70,000 words. I felt like that was way too long. So I realized that in the Middle Ages, they had these things called chapbooks, which were just in between 15,000 words about. That takes about 60 to 90 minutes to read. I thought, wow, that's perfect. That's like watching a movie. And so by adopting that kind of chapbook strategy and also thinking about novellas and the books and all this kind of stuff, it just kind of helped me snap everything into place. I'm really excited. I am hoping that it's good, because I have no idea. It's kind of scary, but at the same time, it's something I've been compelled to do for a really long time, and so I'm pretty sure at least my mommy's gonna like it. If my mommy likes it, I'm good. Um, okay, I have to focus on something other than whether or not people like it, because at the end of the day, I just want to write. And this whole endeavor is just hoping that maybe I could be a writer. I could be a writer. Not in the I published a book and it's in a bookstore kind of way, but just in a it's what I do for a living kind of way. You know, in this day and age, there's a lot of new systems, a lot of new microeconomies that are happening, and this whole Patreon thing might allow me to be able to do this for a living forever, and I could write forever. I have to try, because if I could write full time, I can't imagine a better life. So I hope it's good, and I hope you like it. And let me know what you think. Fingers crossed.